All right. May peace and power and elevation be to all of you out there. This your girl Tiffany coming through live and fed right here from my YouTube channel, my platform, as you can see. So tonight's subject, we're gonna be talking about a young lady by the name of Oluwatoyin Salau. If I'm saying her name correctly, she has an African name, but she went by the name of Toli. And also, we're gonna talk about why do I advocate for Black women to have gun permits. So now we're gonna look at the story of Miss Salau, who was 19 years old and she was found dead in Tallahassee, Florida. So let's look at the story. Right? Okay. So I'm going ahead and hit the screen right here. Oops. There we go. All right, so this is coming from Tallahassee.com, Tallahassee Democrat. Let me get this off here. Okay, I don't want to see this ad, so I'm trying to get this ad off here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what just happened? Oh. Okay, here it is. So here's the story. Florida protester Oluwatoyin Salau killed in Tallahassee after going missing. So we're gonna look at her story. During her last days, Oluwatoyin Salau told her fellow Black youth to persevere in their fight for justice. In the center of a crowd of spirit protesters, let me get all this stuff out here. Okay, in the center of a crowd, spirit protesters in front of the police department, she recited the names of Black lives taken. I don't want their names gone in vain, the 19-year-old activist told them. Those lives may be lost, but we cannot be scared. You are angry, and it's okay to be angry. Days later, Salau's name would join that list of Black lives lost. She was killed. Salau had been missing for 9 days. Investigators found her body and that of Victoria Vicky Sims on Saturday night off Monday Road in southeast Tallahassee. Sims, 75, a retired state worker and grandmother, had been reported missing by police that day. Aaron Glee Jr., who resided in a dilapidated house on Monday Road, was taken into custody in connection with the slayings, police said. Glee, 49, had recent battery charges on his record. Numerous questions still surround both deaths, including why and how they were killed. Police also have not said exactly when and where they were murdered. There is no justice that can be served that will replace my sister's life, said her brother Oluwatoyin Salau. Toyin Salau once pleaded for justice. She took part in local protests following the death of George Floyd and spoke out during a gathering outside police headquarters. We have to do more. We cannot stop here. Violence is not the answer, but we cannot stop here, the young woman said at the time. Not much is known about Glee. Neighbors say they barely knew him. One man suggested he didn't seem to have a car because he walked up and down the street often. Glee was arrested May 29th on a charge of aggravated battery after the officer stopped at a light at Blairstone Road and K Avenue, spotting him kicking a woman in the stomach, according to police reports. The victim in that case was neither Sims nor Salau. The woman told police she and Glee had been drinking alcohol together and were walking down the sidewalk when he propositioned her for sex. She told him no, so Glee became angry, shoved her to the ground, and began kicking her in the abdomen, the police report says. Court record shows a misdemeanor battery charge filed against him June 6th. However, those reports were not immediately available. Glee was arrested last year on a charge of possession of marijuana. However, prosecutors dropped it, according to the court records. We are allowed to get angry. Black people, I mean, we're not supposed to like kill anybody, Salau had said. We have a right to get angry. We don't have to hold that anger in. So let me go ahead and stop here. Let me stop right there. Here it is, a young 19-year-old little girl coming out of Tallahassee, Florida. And apparently this sister comes from a African background, of course, because of her name. This sister was found, she was kidnapped. She was missing. And she was found dead along with another individual. Now, here it is. This sister fighting and advocating for Black Lives Matter, an activist, and she winds up dead. There's a lot of questions around what happened and how it happened. This is the question where we begin to ask, where is the concept of my brother's keeper and my sister's keeper? Where is that concept at? Because see, we talk about this all the time. Let's be our brother's keeper and let's be our sister's keeper. But why was nobody there to protect his sister from such heinous crime? Her Protection Act. Who do we blame at this point? You know, the question that most Black women get asked a lot is, do they feel protected in this country? If you was to ask the Black woman that, I would guarantee you that majority of them would say no. They don't feel protected in this country, nor do they feel protected in their community. Most of us will say no. Because Malcolm said the best, the most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman. And if you don't believe me, I'll be glad to play that video clip. I'll be glad to do so. So, at this point, Black women, it becomes important that we start to think beyond just waiting for somebody to be in the household and to protect, because you have to protect yourself, especially if you are a single parent. You must protect yourself at all costs. You know, this is not really an excuse. I mean, some people don't like guns, okay? We all don't like guns. Everybody don't like guns. I mean, I like them, but everybody else don't like them. But guess what? It's necessary. Because I look at it like this: if you could spend a couple of $1,000s on getting some hair weave, right, that you really don't need. You don't need no $1,000 hair weave. And some of you spend that kind of money, so don't say you don't do it. If you could spend that money, you could spend money on going to the range. Hey, Candy, how you doing? How you doing, Candy? Thank you for tuning in. And hey, sis, how you doing? Love, how you doing? Don't say that you don't spend $1,000 on no hair weave. You can take that $1,000 and go to the range and take some classes. Nobody tell you gotta go get an AK-47 or an M16 rifle. But get you some type of handgun because it's that serious out here. You know, your life is at stake, and you cannot depend on anybody to protect you. You must be able to protect yourself. There's a lot of missing report on Black women. A lot of missing report. So at this day and age, you know, it's not an excuse to say we can't get no gun. I mean, some of us may not be able to afford to go to the range all the time. I get that. But for those of you that walk around here talking about you got money, bitch, if you can go out, let me excuse my language, that slipped out of my mouth. But girl, if you can go out here and get your hair done and buy all these fancy clothes and stuff, you can get you a handgun. That's something that we need to take in consideration. And we need to start training these young girls too, okay? You know, the best time to train them is when they become teenagers. When they get about 12 years old or 11, it's the best time to train them because they need to learn too. They have to. Because one day, you know, if they be at home by themselves, they got to look out or babysit their little brothers and sisters. Most of the time, it used to be the female sibling that has to babysit the younger siblings. So if she has to do that, she got to be able to know how to protect herself. And she got to be able to have, but before she can get her hands on a pistol, she must learn some type of discipline. That's very important. You got to learn discipline before you just start picking up a pistol. Because anybody can pick up a gun and do some crazy shit with it. But if you got the proper discipline and you know how to, if you know when to use it and when not to use it, that's important. So some people just may not need, some people don't need no damn gun because some people ain't got the discipline up here. Some people ain't functioning up here, so some people don't need the gun. So before you pick up a pistol, make sure you gain proper discipline. Make sure you understand what's the purpose of using the gun for. That's why there's a lot of training, a lot of classes that women can go through and take. In each state, they all got gun classes or gun range. Each states have them. They have them especially for Black women. So I could pull up the name of the young lady that has her own gun club. She go by the name of, her name is Marcelle Tig Washington. That's her name, Marcelle Tig Washington. She was a former military veteran. And she teaches Black women, well, women particularly, about guns and, you know, have them go through the gun range and take the classes, etc. And there's a price tag, of course. So some of her classes might be about $75 per class, $100 per class. It depends. So I have to look up that information too. But yes, let me go ahead and go back and read this article, and then let's talk about it. It says she kept crying. In the hours before authorities said Salau went missing, she tweeted she had just been sexually assaulted. Now, friends, hold on. Sorry about that. Let me get to that screen so you guys can see. Okay, there we go. All right, so in the hours before authorities said Salau went missing, she tweeted she had just been sexually assaulted. Now, friends say she also was a victim of sex trafficking at a residence near the campus of Florida A&M University, or FAMU, as we all know it. Police have not confirmed that. The afternoon she went missing, Salau tweeted that a man assaulted her that morning around Park Avenue and Richview Road. She said the man offered to give her a ride to a church where she sought refuge because of unjust living condition. He came disguised as a man of God. Okay, let's see. He came disguised as a man of God and ended up picking me up from nearby Sasson Street, she tweeted. I trusted the Holy Spirit to keep me safe. I'm going to talk about that one. Salau said she called police after the assault happened. Several people replied to her on Twitter offering help and asked whether she was okay. She never responded or tweeted again. But that wasn't the only time she was sexually abused. Her close friends say Salau also was assaulted a few days before she went missing, said uh, Danae Hemphill and two other friends. They met up with her at the church where she'd been seeking refuge, Wesley Impact Church on South Monroe Street. That Thursday, she went with me to the church. She talked to a lawyer. She spent a while there, said her friend Ashley Laurent. She kept crying. Laurent Hemphill and Salau then met officers at the house near FAMU campus where she allegedly was sexually trafficked to pick up her belongings. Hemphill recorded the entire visit to the home and shared the 3-minute video with the Tallahassee Democrat. It shows a disoriented and sobbing Salau shuffling into the house with her friends and scoping up her belongings. I just hope he will not do this to anybody else, Salau said over and over as she sobbed. Lawrence said that a police officer told all three of them outside the house that police would need more evidence to pursue an investigation. That only angered Salau's friend, who thought police should have done more. That night, Salau slept at Hemp Hill's house. Hemp Hill was concerned about her friend's safety. I personally feel like they could have investigated and gotten DNA, Lawrence said. That's where they failed her. She could still be alive. Mm. So basically, this woman was already broken. This girl was already broken. She was a victim of sex trafficking. And she was trying to seek refuge. She was trying to seek salvation. Here she thought that she trusted somebody who appeared to be the man of God, and only thing he does to take advantage of her, knowing that she was already broken. These type of women that become broken, they become vicious. They become angry. This is why most women do not trust being in a relationship. This is why women do not trust men in their lives, because they have been sexually assaulted so much to where, why should I trust any man around me? They start to give men the suspicious eye and give them all kinds of attitude and show that they have a distrust. And that's what the case with this young lady. She's been broken so many times that there was a distrust. The question is, where was her parents when all of this was going on? Where was her parents at? When the fuck was her daddy at? When the fuck was her mama at? Who was there besides her friends, who else was there for this young lady? And peace for those of you that's just coming in. Thank you for watching and tuning in. But where was her family? Where was the family support? Here, this girl roaming the streets, trying to get away from being trafficked, from being taken advantage of, being abused. And here she trying to find some type of refuge by going to church, thinking that that's the safe haven rest for her. And she gets abused repeatedly over and over and over again, then you want to know why black women got the attitudes they have. Why black women come off as being so aggressive. This is one of the reasons why. Do you blame her for not being able to trust anybody? No. This woman is crying. They said she was crying. She was sobbing. She was pleading. She was screaming out for help. And then when she talked to the police gonna tell her that, well, there's nothing we can do about it because we need more information, more evidence to investigate. When basically her friends told her everything that went on and gave the officer more information, but basically the officer said, well, we can't do nothing about it at this point. So she was left on her own, and she was left to rely on her friends. And they felt bad because they couldn't do much. What else could they really do? What else could they really do? Let's continue on with the article. We were all together 1 minute, Hemphill said, and the next minute our friend was gone. In the following days, her fellow demonstrators would take flashlights and venture in the dark to search for their lost friend. The ambiguity surrounding Salau's disappearance only adds to their heartbreak. Hemphill, her close friend and fellow protester, felt a heavy unease in the days after her friend disappeared. I had a feeling that we were not going to find Toyin, said Hemphill 22. I don't know what in the world happened to Toyin. Surveillance footage showed that around 7 p.m. June 10th, Salau walked into Big Easy Snowballs at Lake Ella. According to the shop's owner, she asked to use the restroom. That's the last known report of anyone seeing her alive. At each demonstration, Salau would recite the name of black people killed, such as Madej and George Floyd of Minneapolis. I don't want their names gone in vain, Salau said during one protest in front of Tallahassee Police Department headquarters last month. Hemphill didn't think her friend's name would join that list. Toyin was very passionate, said Hemphill. She was very vocal. She was very loving, very spiritual, very caring. Recently, the pair visited the Benton Hill Black Cemetery together. As Hemphill wept, Salau rubbed her back, trying to console her. This all has to end. I feel your pain, Salau whispered, according to Hemphill. Hemphill never thought that soon after her friend would be buried too. Toyin, she was like a light in a dark room, she said. That was Toyin. And this the motherfucker, and I say that unapologetically, this is the motherfucker that was supposed to allegedly assault her, allegedly raped her, and killed her. This the motherfucker right here. And that's it. And that's it. Let me tell y'all something. You know, you hear this a lot from our people. We always talking about the white man's the devil. Yeah, we know the white man's the devil, but guess what? Anybody can be the devil. Anybody can be the devil. It don't just have to necessarily be somebody based on their skin color. It can be based on their action, based on their mentality. Everybody that shows kind, everybody that shows skin is not always your kin. Everybody that shows skin is not always your kin. And that's one thing we must understand. So, and I don't want somebody sitting up here making excuse. Well, you know, he's a black man, and you know, he was probably oppressed, and he been through a lot. The system oppressed him. Okay, but what about this young lady who been taken advantage of? You want to talk about how the system oppressed him? Well, let's talk about how the system had failed her to fail to help and protect her when she needed the protection that was necessary. Let's talk about how this individual not only did this to her, but did it to another woman who happened to be 75 years old. And not only that, he assaulted someone. He kicked somebody in the damn stomach because they refused to give him sexual advances. See, this the bullshit that I'm talking about. We don't want to talk about this. Let me tell you something else for all the women out there. You ain't got to give it up if you don't want to give it up. You ain't got to give it up. So don't let nobody think that you have to give it up. It is your choice. If you decide that you want to give it up, meaning that if you want to give into sexual advances, that's your choice. But outside that, you don't have to give shit up. You ain't got to give nothing up to nobody. This is sad. This girl became an activist advocating for her people. And she turned around and get killed by her own motherfucking people. She get killed by her own motherfucking people, get sexually assaulted at 19 years old. And she already been through enough shit in her motherfucking life. This girl barely even made it to 20. And she going through a whole bunch of crises. And she end up motherfucking dead. Who do I say is at fault for this? I blame the community. I don't just blame the punk ass law enforcement, but I blame the people in the community, especially those who walk around here and say black power this, black power that. Let's protect our women and children. Well, you ain't done a good job. Because I can guarantee you right now, you ask the majority of black women, do they feel protected in their own community? Half of them would tell you no. They don't feel protected at all. Half of them would tell you no. And that's sad. You got all these motherfucking organizations running around here, right? And I appreciate that we speaking out about police brutality, but what about the protection within the community? You say you here to protect women and children. Where's it at? And I ain't talking about all of them, but those who want to put on the show. Where's y'all motherfuckers at in the neighborhoods to make sure that these women okay? But then some of y'all want to get mad because people advocate for black women to have permits, to have gun permits to protect themselves. Some of y'all want to get mad about that. What the hell you getting mad for? Why the fuck you getting upset about it? It's only fair because most of the women are single parents. So it's necessary for them to goddamn get their permits. Most of these women got to go to work. They got to be out here on their own. And you mad because people advocate for women to carry guns? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck your feelings. Get your feelings out of here. Get out of here. Let's go to Malcolm X. Oops. Oh,
with the black woman, the most unprotected woman. Person in America is the black.
all right, hold on. Here's the video.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most disrespected.
All right, there we go, right there. Listen to what Malcolm have to say.
Person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to respect our women and to protect our women. And the only time a Muslim really gets real violent is when someone goes to molest his woman. We will kill you for our woman. I'm making it plain, yes. We will kill you for our woman. I believe that if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up like men and place the same penalty over the head of anyone who puts his filthy hands out to put in the direction of our women. We respect them, but we want them to respect us. We think that the law should respect the Negro community. The law should protect the Negro community. The law should approach the Negro community with intelligence if it expects the Negro community to react intelligently.
Now, you heard it from Malcolm. The most disrespected person is the black woman. The most unprotected person is the black woman. The most neglected person is the black woman. Why is that? Give me some answers right now as to why is that. I would like to know, why is the black woman the most unprotected person? Why? And you niggas in the conscious community talking all that shit about black women did, black women that. Where the fuck is y'all niggas at? Yeah, you can tell in my voice I'm angry about this because I'm hurt. As a black woman reading a story about another black woman being kidnapped, I have the right to my anger. I have the right to react to this. I really do. Give me a second, you guys. I have the video up. I'm gonna show you the young lady that I was talking about. Her name is Tig Washington. Okay. All right. So this is the young lady right here. I'm finna play her video.
Growing up, I was definitely afraid and intimidated by firearms because our parents kept them away from us. We never had one in the household, and we weren't allowed to play with them. I overcame that when I joined the military, and I realized that these can be used for self-defense.
If you're holding your firearm up here, more of that force is coming back towards the upper part of your body, right? So you want to lean into it, not away from it.
Trigger Happy Firearm Instruction is a firearm instruction company for the average person. Our mission is to make sure we educate people, especially women, and then more specifically, women of color.
See how she's falling backwards because she wasn't standing the right way, right?
Women of color are definitely underrepresented when it comes to the gun community. I would say to an extreme extent. Usually what happens is they go inside of a gun range and they have questions, but they don't see anyone who looks like them. They don't see any women there. So I created these classes for those women so they can ask all the questions they want to ask and not feel intimidated when they're asking those questions. And I also teach the fundamentals like stance, like grip, like trigger squeeze, like aim, like breath control. I teach all of those things because they're the fundamentals and they're the basics that you need to accurately use a firearm to defend yourself. My personal quote is that survival is a choice. And it's not an easy decision to make, but you have to actually say it to yourself. I'm not a victim anymore. I'm a survivor. I survived this horrific event and I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still going.
I'm actually hitting it harder, but look at her feet. She's not going anywhere.
We have to take it upon ourselves, make it our responsibilities to become defenders and protectors of ourselves, our families, our children, and those around us.
Peace to those of you that's just coming into the chat. Shout out to that sister. And I'm sorry, I her last name is Tigner. Marcel Tigner, what's her name? That's her name. So shout out to that sister. That interview was about 3 years ago that she did. But as you can see, she's a army veteran, and she herself was sexually assaulted at 19. And she said, fuck this shit. I refuse to be a victim again. I refuse. And that sister made it her business to not only make sure she's trained, but also she's teaching other women how to protect themselves too. So I give her the big salute and shout out. Of course, many people don't know about her. Many people haven't heard about her, and they don't know her story. But women like this that's doing the work, helping other women, and teaching other women to be able to protect themselves of chaos. They doing the work. So I give credit to her. So now I want to go ahead and look at the statistics who are getting kidnapped or who are, shall we? Give me a moment. I'll be Damn. Okay, my bad, y'all. I thought the sound went out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you, Knowledge, for letting me know that. Okay. Let me start over again. Let me start reading this article again. All right, so I'm gonna go back and read the article because my sound went out, or I had it on mute. So the article is called "The Urgent Crisis of Missing Black Women and Girls." Um, So in 2017, activists and concerned community members in Washington, D.C. relaunched the Bring Back Our Black Girls hashtag in an effort to shed light on what appeared to be an epidemic of missing Black girls in the district. Although several Black girls were missing in the nation capitals, it was soon discovered these numbers aligned with those from the previous year. The combination of a poorly rolled out police notification system in DC about missing people and a history of neglect and invisibility of missing Black girls formed a perfect storm for a brief, widespread panic about what was happening to Black girls in Washington. As soon as it became clear that there wasn't a spike in missing Black girls, the media moved on and the viral campaign lost steam. But what of the dozen Black girls who were actually missing? It seemed that too few care about them. The disturbing trend of Black girls going missing continued without any sense of urgency. So here it is. The harsh reality is that an estimate 64,000 to 75,000 Black women and girls are currently missing in the United States, arguably due to pressure from activists and advocacy groups such as Black and Missing Foundation, Inc., which documents and bring awareness to missing Black people and growing national interest in human trafficking. Major news outlets such as CNN ran stories in 2019 about the alarming number of missing Black children and Black women in the United States. Sounding the alarm about the lack of coverage of missing Black children and women, the distinct barriers for Black families reporting missing loved ones, such as a widespread mistrust of law enforcement and disparate ways law enforcement treated disappearance. Mainstream publications shed light on the experience of missing Black children and women as well as their loved ones. It should have been a call for better policies and more social services that center Black girls, but the brief spotlight failed to galvanize a more robust and passionate response. All right, and here it is. The 10 of thousands of Black women and girls who are missing include abductees, sex trafficking victims, and runaways. Black women and girls exist at the intersection of racism and sexism and quite often poverty. These barriers contribute to disparity and poor outcomes in many arenas, including but not limiting to health, wealth, housing, education, employment, food security, access to water, and violence. It is therefore unsurprising that Black women and girls would be overrepresented among people missing in the United States. They are uniquely vulnerable and too easily erased from public discussion about the alarming trend of missing people. Oh, who, me? No, I'm not a Black Lives member. Love, I'm not a Black Lives member. The young lady that was a member of, I think I took that article down. But anyways, the young lady that was missing, she was, she was one of the not advocates. She was the activist of the Black Lives Matter organization. So I don't know if they have a branch out there in Tallahassee, Florida, but yes, she was a part of that group. And yes, I do take, they should take accountability. Yeah, the Black Lives Matters organization should also take accountability for that. Because there's a lot of question regarding to, does Black lives really matter to the Black community? I respect the slogan Black Lives Matter, but when is it going to start mattering when it comes down to a case of kidnapping? Can that statement expand itself beyond police brutality and go for all areas of crisis that center around Black people? Can it go to all areas other than just police brutality? I believe it should. I absolutely believe it should, because it should be able to expand itself. So that statement should not just apply when it comes to the police, but every other issue and crisis that's going on regarding to Black people. That's just my opinion. And I mean, that's what I believe. So yeah, so Love Myfro, if that's your name, Love Myfro, you have a point. You have an argument. And you also correct, there is no Black Amber Alerts. If you know about the Amber Alerts, you don't hear much about the missing victims that are African Americans. You will hear more so about the Caucasians or someone that's Hispanic that's missing than you would do about somebody that's African American. And then they tell you, in order to get an Amber Alert, the person has to be missing within a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of days. If you know it's dead, right? They would tell you that a person has to be missing a certain amount of days before they actually put out the alert. If they are not missing within those days, then they're not going to put out the alert. So let's go ahead and continue with this article. For far too many Black girls, marginalization is ever present. Every day, poor children of all races and ethnicity fall through a rapidly unraveling social safety net, more likely than their white counterparts to be homeless or in economically unstable households. Black girls may be lured or forced into dangerous situations. Let me say that again. Let me read that again. Black girls may be lured or forced into dangerous situation. Homeless Black girls, whether in shelters or on the streets, as well as those in foster care, are targets for sex trafficking and other forms of violence. Although some Black girls reside in loving and supportive foster homes, quite often Black girls without stable living situation run away from their homes or shelters and unknowingly enter into even riskier circumstances. Let's start right here. As a matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to highlight this because I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this right here. And we're going to talk about where it says Black girls may be lured and forced into dangerous situation. Let's talk about that for a moment. I'm quite sure that many of us have that particular friend, a female friend that we know that came from a broken home, was a runaway. Yes, she was. She was homeless at one time. They said she was homeless. Also, right, but she was staying with her friends. So she also had friends around her. So, but at one point in time, she was homeless. And she was a sex trafficking victim, yes. But let's get back to it. You will hear a lot of cases if you had that one particular friend or you went to school with someone, particularly a Black female at that, and she tells you that, oh, I'm in the foster care. And then you ask her, well, why are you in the foster care? Most of them would tell you that because they came from a broken home, they was abused, they And not only because they were abused, that's how they end up being put into the system. And not only they were brought into the system, but they had to run away from the system because what people don't know, especially in a lot of these foster care systems, there's a lot of rape going on. There's a lot of incidents of people, of young people getting raped, and they run away. They run away, and they go out to the streets. When they end up in the streets, they come across any random individual that will cater to their needs. So with the article saying that Black girls are more likely to be put in dangerous predicament, that's very true. Because in Atlanta, there's a lot of sex trafficking. There's a lot of sex trafficking going on in Atlanta. A lot of it, a lot of it. And it goes unheard of because people don't talk about it. And if anybody know about the sex trafficking business, it's $1 billion business. Oh yeah, it's $1 billion business. See, they don't care if the girls are foster kids or if they ran away from home or if they have been abducted. If they see that money tag or price tag and they can offer something, then guess what? They're going to offer them to the streets. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I'll never forget, one night I was coming home from work. I was on the bus. And there was this girl. She could no more than be about maybe 25, 26. A Black girl. She was getting off the bus. She was a prostitute. A lot of people knew her. A lot of people knew she was a prostitute in that neighborhood. So she was getting off the bus, and these little badass kids was making fun of her. And not only that, they was throwing rocks at her. I'll never forget, they was throwing rocks at her and made fun of her. And one little kid was telling her, "Come here, bitch, suck my dick." I couldn't say that. I just looked at the kids. I just looked at them. I was looking at them very shocked. And I'm glancing over at this girl. You know, her mind was so far gone. And then I just said, you know what? I'm grateful that that wasn't me. I'm grateful that I wasn't put in that predicament. I couldn't say anything at all. But yeah, this is what you see. What that article is saying, that's a fact. Because I've known people and I've been to school with people who have gone through that experience, who have been in and out of the system all their lives, been abused. I went to school with people like that. Let's continue on with the article. Oh yeah, I'm going to read this article, so y'all might as well go ahead and just get used to it, because I'm going to use articles to back up the arguments. That's what I do. Check this out. All right, so let's go ahead and read this paragraph right here. African American girls comprise sex trafficking victims in the United States while running away from physical or sexual abuse of economic deprivation. Black girls run into sexual predators preying on their vulnerabilities and capitalizing on the lack of collective outrage expressed when black girls disappears. Does that sound familiar? It sounds too familiar. Runaways don't get Amber Alerts. That go back to what you said, sister. You right. Yes, black girls do not get runaways. Do not get Amber Alerts. They don't get Amber Alerts, as those are reserved for adoptees. No texts or sirens go out when these girls go missing. Quite often, law enforcement characterize missing black girls as runaways. Quite often, law enforcement characterize missing black girls as runaways. Consequently, their cases aren't treated with urgency given to those of people who have been abducted. They disappear into a faceless mass of missing children blamed for their attempt to escape untenable situation. Systemic systemic failures render black girl runaways invisible and more howlingly disposable. Their stories remain untold and unfairly chronicled as tales of juvenile delinquency and criminality. Black girls aren't afforded the protection of childhood innocence. Black girls aren't afforded the protection of childhood innocence. Black girls aren't afforded the protection of childhood innocence. That's deep. That's deep. Let me say this. When it comes to a young lady, especially looking for a father figure, do you know that she is less likely to find a father figure in her own community? See, a boy is more likely to find a father figure than a girl. I don't think you heard me. I'm going to say that again. A boy, he is more likely to find a father figure than a girl. Allow that to marinate. Allow that to marinate for a moment. Allow that to marinate. Allow that to marinate. And if she a runaway, she's not going to be looked at as a missing person. Unless she's a abductee, meaning that she has been abducted or kidnapped. But she ran away. Oh, she just run away. Ain't nothing we can do about it. That's the attitude of law enforcement. That's the attitude. Now, this article was written in February the 3rd of 2020, this year. It was written earlier this year. Let's continue. Okay, let's start right here. I'm going to read from here to this paragraph. Even black girls residing in similarly stable home and community environments experience sexual violence at a higher rate than white girls. Black Women's Blueprint, an organization that advocates policies centered on black women and girls, reported that approximately 60% of black girls are sexually assaulted before turning 18. Even conservative estimates indicate that at least 40% of black girls are sexually victimized before their 18th birthdays. Running away from family situation or communities in which all forms of violence occur is not an uncommon response. The failure to address the pervasiveness of sexual violence against Black girls contributes to their feeling uncared for and unprotected. This lack of care and investment in eradicating sexual violence against Black girls results in a perilous, hilarious context in which Black girls go missing. Yes, you have plenty. So again, that goes back to my initial question. If you ask many Black women, do they feel protected in their own community? Most of them would say no because of what have been experienced. And one of those worst experiences they encounter is sexual abuse. Because you know why? Someone in the family was not protecting them. Someone in the family was not protecting them from being abused, from being raped. Let's continue. How many more paragraphs I got to go? All right, so let's go ahead and read this. Unfortunately, adult Black women don't fare much better than Black girls when considering how and why they go missing. Racism and sexism coupled with poverty, transphobia, homophobia, and ableism. I don't know what the hell is ableism. Generate a distinct set of conditions for Black women, as they do with Black girls. Law enforcement often classify Black women as runaways. Furthermore, Black women endure higher rates of sexual and physical violence than their white counterparts. They also encounter racist, sexist, and classist barriers when reporting violence and within the various systems and organizations established to support victims and survivors of violence. With few or no option for redress, Black women may feel compelled to leave violent and potentially deadly situations, disconnecting from loved ones in their communities. They seek safety in a world too often precarious for those barely surviving on the margins. Black women face disproportionately rates of homelessness and are among a rapidly growing population of sex trafficking victims. Recent headlines unveil stories of a serial predator targeting Black women in the sex trade, a DJ trafficking Black girls and women out of a club in South Carolina, and hotel workers in Louisiana and Georgia aiding sex traffickers of Black women in evading police for years. The levels of complicity, indifference, malicious intent, and carelessness render Black women and girls unworthy of protection. They become statistics without stories. They become statistics without stories. And oh yeah, y'all remember that DJ? Well, no, no, that wasn't the same guy. That was somebody totally different, probably. But yeah, this guy who happened to be a white DJ, a famous DJ, he was going around infecting Black women with AIDS. Y'all remember that story? But I don't think that's the same guy they're talking about in this article. Let's go back for a moment. Yeah. They become statistics without stories. They become, hey, I'm not worried about that, sis. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. You see, it don't surprise me because I don't have that many subscribers for one. So I'm not worried about the few people that's watching. I appreciate the few that's watching. I really do. I really do. They become statistics without stories. They become statistics without stories. They become statistics without stories. That means that they become a percentage is as far as black women concerned, they become a percentage. But there's no bad stories behind the situation or what happened and how it occurs. So most of the time, you're not going to get a lot of backstory. You're just going to get a statistic. Allow that to marinate for a moment. Last October, 3-year-old Camille Cupcake McKinney was abducted from a birthday party in Birmingham, Alabama. Just 10 days later, her lifeless body was found in a landfill less than 20 miles from her home. McKinney's abduction warrant an Amber Alert and received more local and national attention than most missing black girls. Whereas McKinney's story gained some traction in larger conversation about missing children. The tragic story of missing 5-year-old Nivea Lachey of South Carolina, whose body was also found in a landfill that same week, did not. The relative silence surrounding Lachey's disappearance is far more common than the most robust response to McKinney's abduction. Cases of missing black girls don't often come with rewards for information or tweets from celebrities. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Black women may fare worse in terms of awareness and outcry. When news broke last year of an interstate sex trafficking ring in Georgia and Louisiana, some within media and law enforcement emphasized the victims' complicity and consensual participation in the sex trade. The victims were black women and girls, although the traffickers and those who aided them eventually faced legal recourse. The victims received very little attention. These black women and girls remain unnamed, disposable people in a sensationalized story about sex trafficking. Missing black girls and women deserve more than bias and infrequent coverage. They need substantive solution to a multi-pronged problem. One of the many promising practical strategies to responding to missing black girls and women is the RAIA alert system. Let's see what that is. Okay. Okay, so the RAIA alert is in honor of Raya Wilson, a 4-year-old girl in Florida foster care system who went missing over 8 months before anyone realized she was gone. This alert system was created. Hold on. Hold on. Let me read what this all right, so let's go ahead and read what the RAIA alert. So there's a system called the RAIA alert. It's supposed to be like the Amber alert. So the Raya alert is in honor of Raya Wilson, a 4-year-old girl in the Florida foster care system who went missing for over 8 months before anyone realized she was gone. This alert system was created to help reduce the response time in which the crucial information is shared with the public, so that the tragedy of this young child does not occur again. Um, Founder Miss Laurie adds the Raya alert is not a replacement of the Amber alert, but rather an extension created to work for children when the criteria for an Amber alert is not met. Because the criteria for a Raya alert is more inclusive, we can often help in finding a child who otherwise may not get the media attention necessarily. Raya is an innocent young girl who is missing. You would never have heard of her if she hadn't been a child of the state. Raya's media coverage was based on DCF, not based on a beautiful child being missing. Hmm. Wow. So there is a alert out there, and again, you guys can look more into it. It's called the Raya Alert. So I'm gonna put it up so you guys can look more information. The Raya Alert. Oh, she was such a pretty little girl too. Yeah, so look that up. Okay. So getting back to the article over here, it says created by Peace in Their Pods, an organization bringing attention to the plight of missing children of color in honor of a 4-year-old black girl named Raya Wilson who went missing in Florida in the early 2000s. The Raya Alert is more inclusive approach than the Amber Alert system to inform the public about a missing child. Raya Alerts aim to help missing children of color get more media attention, whether or not Amber Alert has been issued. Okay. There are also broader preventative solutions to address the multitude of reasons Black girls and women go missing. Requires supporting organization committing to ending homelessness, overhauling the foster care system, using victim-centered models for ending sex trafficking, center Black girls and women as victims of sexual and gender-biased violence, and fighting for affordable housing and food security for Black families. Tens of thousands of Black girls and women await a more forceful and sustained effort to bring back our girls. Organizations such as Peas in Their Pods, Black Women's Blueprint, and RAIN. All right. Let me show you the website for RAIN. Okay, this is a RAIN website, and what they deal with is the National Sexual Assault Hotline. It says RAIN statistic: every 73 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted, and every 9 minutes, that victim is a child. Latest news: get the latest news on the work RAIN is doing every day to end sexual violence. So here's their website right here. RAIN is the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization. All right. So getting back to this. Yeah, to address the multiple reasons Black girls and women go missing requires supporting organization committed to ending homelessness, overhauling the foster care system using victim-centered models for ending sex trafficking, centering Black girls and women as victims of sexual and gender-based violence, and fighting for affordable housing and food security for Black families. Tens of thousands of Black girls and women await a more forceful and sustained effort to bring back our girls. Organizations such as Peace in Their Pies, Black Women's Blueprint, RAIN, and other underfunded and under-resourced groups can't fix this crisis alone. Their tireless work to fight on behalf of missing Black girls and women is a powerful it's a powerful reminder that those missing deserve more than hashtags. I absolutely agree. They do deserve more than hashtags. They deserve a lot more media coverage. I have to look up information about her family, her parents. I have not because the article that I read it didn't mention anything about her parents. The only thing that it mentioned, as far as her family is concerned, is her brother. That was it. But I would have to look more into detail about her family. So to answer your question, sis, love Monroe. What's it? Love Mifro. Yeah, I would have to look more into that. Um, the Black community have a long way to go. We have a long way. We have greater issues. We have greater issues that goes beyond it than just police brutality. See, police brutality is one of the problems. But then when we look into our community, we got violence, we got rape, we got molestation, we got homelessness, we got poverty. Now, everything is not going to be able to be taken care of at once. I understand that, but it has to be one step at a time. At least put some effort into making it noticeable. Because if we talk about we care about our community, we love our people, we got to start putting these things into practice. And one of these things that should go into practice is bringing more alert to missing women and children. So what I'm going to do is to close out, I'm going to play the video from Miss Toyin Salau, the sister that was missing. So let me go ahead and play her video.
Not that all lives don't matter, but right now, our lives matter. Black lives matter. Who got shot being skinned, bruh.
I'm getting ready to play her video, and then I'm gonna close out. All right, here it goes. You said there's no volume. Hold on. Okay, just give me a second. Let me go out. Let me stop it. Let me. What the? Okay, hold on. Give me a second, you guys. I thought that was volume. Hold on. Right. Let me try this again. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it again. Sorry about that. I thought the volume was up. Y'all forgive me because I'm still trying to get together with YouTube and all that. So y'all forgive me. Sorry about that.
Nah, can't nobody silence me. I just want, it's not that all lives don't matter, but right now, our lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yes.
Black trans lives matter.
Yes.
Trans lives matter.
Yes.
Because guess what? We all minorities, but right now, like, let's focus on the person who got killed. Tony McDade was a black trans man. Okay? We're not doing this. We're doing this for him. We're doing this for our brothers and our sisters who got shot, but we're doing this for every black person. Because at the end of the day, I cannot take my fucking skin color off. I cannot mask this shit, okay? Everywhere I fucking go, I'm profiled whether I like it or not.
That ain't right.
Like, I'm looked at whether I like it or not.
That ain't right.
Being skin, bruh. This shit, I can't take this shit off. So guess what? I'ma die about it.
Yes.
I'ma die about my fucking skin. You cannot take my fucking blackness away from me. My blackness is not for your fucking consumption, nigga. It's not. It's not. Okay? It's not. And y'all need to listen. It's like I said, it's okay to be angry. Use wisdom. Don't move stupidly and get yourself hurt. You already seen, we all in this together. I didn't mean to like divide anybody. We all in this together. My brother who got he got ran over. Y'all need to know who the fucking enemy is. I sometimes I get mad, but I'm not trying to divide nobody. Y'all need to remember who fucking enemy is. It's racist Tallahassee. White racist Tallahassee.
Say it again. With that being said, rest in peace to that young sister. And I hope that she get justice that she deserves. This is something that's very tragic. And you can hear the pain in her voice. You can hear it. You can hear the emotions. You can hear that she was passionate about what she was doing. May she rest in peace. So thank you guys for watching. Um, and I'm sorry for the technical difficulties and things of that nature. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get better at it. Just bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna get better at it. Okay, just bear with me. But anyways, yeah, you guys take it easy on yourselves. Make sure you share and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell, and I will always keep you guys posted and updated on what's going on. And as far as like the subject and the topics that I want to have. So hopefully in the future I can get some people to engage into the discussion. Get people on the platform and have a dialogue or interview, anything like that, so people can give their thoughts and input, because I don't want to just be the one that's doing all the talking all the time. So I want to be able to engage into some conversation and interaction with people. But outside that, I feel that this was very important, and this is something that's not often discussed. But when I saw this young lady's story, it just really, I had to just get on it right away. I had to get on top of it. I had to touch on it. It was no question about it. Just reading the story and just hearing about it and just listening to and just knowing that this young lady was passionate about what she was doing. She was doing activism work. She wasn't doing no harm. She wasn't out here getting caught up in a bunch of criminal activity. This young lady was doing activism, and she turns around and get kidnapped, get sexually assaulted, and found dead. We have to bring more awareness about these type of things in our community. We got to do better as a people. We can't just constantly throw these things on the bus and act like they don't exist. We must have these issues addressed, and it must be discussed about as much as possible. Yeah, people gonna get tired of hearing about the same old shit, but guess what? They can talk about all other subjects, the same thing over and over and over again, right? You got to make this, you got to keep talking about it until people start to wake up and start realizing that this shit is a reality and it's really happening. So again, may she rest in peace. May the Most High be with her. May the ancestor be with her. May the spirit of the ancestor guide her and all the rest of our people. Until next time, you guys, be safe. And I will reconnect with you all. May peace and power elevation be to you. Thank you for watching. All right.